Well, last week, in an unprecedented new transparency, the Obama administration sent up Special Trade Ambassador Froman and Secretary Liu to talk about his proposed Trans-Pacific Partnership. Now, you might remember that until now, if a member of Congress wished to see this secret agreement, they would have to go to a special secure room, were not allowed to take notes, and couldn't talk about it. At the same time, it's shared in real time with 500 multinational corporations who don't have to go to a secure room and are involved in the negotiations. But they came forward and they gave us some facts and figures and statistics. Unfortunately, the statistics were not accurate. Special Trade Representative Froman said that we are running a trade surplus with our free trade agreement countries. Wrong. False. Actually, in 2013, we had a $180 billion goods deficit, and yeah, we had a $75 billion services deficit. The aggregate means $105 billion deficit. Now, they kind of turned a little trick here. They pretend that something made entirely in China, shipped to Los Angeles, and then shipped over the border to Mexico is a U.S. export. Well, yeah, it created one trucking job and maybe one longshoreman job, but the manufacturing jobs are all in China. This is a new trick, but it still doesn't get them to balance, but they like to pretend. Then we were treated to some half-truths. I said, well, isn't this substantially based upon the Korea Free Trade Agreement? Oh, yes, it is. Well, look, in fact, look here. Isn't this incredible? $100.5 billion of exports from the U.S. to Korea. Oh, well, wait a minute. That's half the truth. Here's the other half. Actually, $14.7 billion in goods from Korea to here. So we ran a massive and growing trade deficit since we entered into this agreement. I tried to get specific with him. I said, how about autos? We were going to open up the auto market, and they have something to tout. Our auto exports are up 140%. Wow, that sounds pretty darn good. And Koreans are only up by 50%. Wow, that means we're winning. Well, no, because U.S. auto exports went from 14,000 to 34,000. Korean auto exports went from 827,000 to 1.3 million. That means we ran a deficit of 461,402 more autos created in Korea and exported here since we entered into this trade agreement. And yet that's what they're modeling this new agreement on. They're saying the tremendous success of NAFTA and Korea is what we want to duplicate in this Trans-Pacific Partnership, which will include such honest actors as South Vietnam, where they can use prison and child labor, and a number of other countries, Japan, who has engaged in currency manipulation and distortion for decades to advantage their goods against ours. And then when asked about currency manipulation, they say, absolutely not, we can't have that discussion here. It would be to our disadvantage. No, it would be to the disadvantage of some multinational corporations who take advantage of currency manipulation, like China and Japan, to make their goods cheaper, to put people out of work here and capture more manufacturing over there. Oh yeah, and there is one big winner in currency manipulation who's worried about any restrictions on currency and capital flows. That would be Wall Street. The two big winners for the U.S. in these agreements are the pharmaceutical industry. Oh, what a wonderful, good friend to America. And how many people does that employ here, other than sales reps? It's almost all manufactured overseas now. And Wall Street. That's the way all these trade agreements have worked. A few very selected winners of the U.S. The big losers are U.S. workers, U.S. manufacturing. And the question I've been asking since I opposed NAFTA more than 20 years ago is, how can you be a great nation if you don't make things anymore? With that, I yield back the balance of my time.
The chair recognizes the gentlelady from